Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, Albay Provincial Library and Information Center head Amelin and Bautista urged local communities to have a partnership with their office in forwarding initiatives that will help improve kindergarten to grade 3 learners in the province. The ceremonial turnover of books donated by the Asia Foundation, RTA International, and the EBC Plus Advancing Basic Education in the Philippines project by the Department of Education, supported by the United States Agency for International Development, held yesterday for K-3 learners in the municipality of Bakakay. This initiative forms part of the office's efforts to reduce illiteracy among K-3 learners and develop in them the habit of reading. In other story, the Civil Service Commission will hold its 2024 Luzon Friendship Games in Legazpi starting today, April 23 to 25, 2024. LFG is a 3-day sports event where delegates from Luzon cluster will compete in different sports events such as ball games, table and board games, and other games such as executive and fun games and cheer dance. The 2024 Luzon Friendship Games is part of the CSC's Health and Wellness Program, with participating officers from the CSC Central Office, National Capital Region, Regions 1 to 5, and the Cordillera Administrative Region. In other news, in celebration of Filipino Food Month in April of every year, the Albay Provincial Library and Information Center bear the significant programs and activities that will highlight the gastronomy and food heritage of the province. In an interview with Provincial Librarian Amelin Bautista, she shared significant activities their office is going to spearhead, which will forge support for local food and food literature, particularly among young Albayano learners. Apart from the storytelling sessions that will take place at the Book Nook's Corner, Bautista also shared that a series of art sessions, folk dance and guitar sessions, tugtugan at sayawan, and a cooking festival will also form part of the celebration's highlights. For the national scene, the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, on Monday, April 22, said that it is studying the possibility of appealing the Supreme Court's decision that found the poll body erring in the disqualification of Smartmatic in bidding procedures for the upcoming midterm elections. The Supreme Court said COMELEC committed grave abuse of discretion when it disqualified Smartmatic before the company had submitted any bid. Despite the ruling, COMELEC is still grateful to the High Court for not nullifying the results of its bidding, which awarded a contract to South Korean company Miru Systems. In another story, retired Court of Appeals Justice Melchor Quirino Sadang has been appointed the new chairman of the Presidential Commissions on Good Government, Malacanang announced on Monday, April 22. Sadang will lead the panel tasked to recover the alleged ill-gotten wealth of the Marcos family and their cronies during the dictatorship of the president's father. Sadang was part of the panel that reviewed the courtesy resignations submitted by the police officials in February 2023, when the DILG tried to weed out from the Philippine National Police its ranking officials with ties to the illegal drug trade. Among PCGG commissioners earlier appointed by Marcos are former Abra Mayor Marco Bautista, former Metropolitan Manila Development Authority Executive Director Angelito Vergel de Dios, and lawyer Helio Quevedo, who was among those who questions Marcos' loss in the 2016 vice presidential race. In other news, former President Rodrigo Duterte and his political allies should have just formed a new party instead of renaming PDP Laban, Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Coco Pimentel II, a former president of the party, said. Pimentel, who leads a wing of the party that he says is the legitimate PDP Laban, made a statement after the Duterte-led party voted to drop Laban from its name. Laban refers to Lakas ng Bayan, an opposition party that emerged with Partido Demokratiko Pilipino in 1983 to field candidates against the ruling Kilusang Bagong Lipunan. PDP Laban was the administration party during the Duterte presidency and adopted a new logo featuring a Duterte fist in 2017 when Pimentel was party president. PDP's National Council adopted the new name at the party's anniversary celebration in Cebu City last week, where it also announced members of its prospective senatorial slate. For the news outside the country, China on Monday warned against attempts to carry out maritime containment, with a senior military officer telling a regional Navy symposium in the eastern port city of Qingdao that such policy would divide the world and cause turbulence. General Zhang Zhuxia, vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, China's highest national defense organization, said in a speech at the event attended by representatives of around 30 countries that global ocean governance faces many challenges which require us to unite to jointly safeguard maritime security. His comments came amid rising tensions in the South China Sea, where China is involved in territorial disputes in the Philippines and other neighboring countries, as well as Sino-US rivalry for influence over Pacific Island nations. In another story, the United States appears close to sanctioning an Israeli military unit over alleged human rights violation in the West Bank, a move that Israeli Prime Minister angrily denounced as the height of absurdity. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken hinted at such steps when asked by a reporter in Italy about reports that his department had recommended cuts in military aid to an Israeli unit involved in violent incidents in the West Bank. The allegations precede the deadly October 7 attacks by Hamas on southern Israel. Blinken, without providing details, said his department was conducting investigations under a law that prohibits sending military aid to foreign security units that violate human rights with impunity. And finally, former U.S. President Donald Trump arrived in court on Monday for opening statements in his criminal trial and condemned the high-stakes case as a witch hunt designed to derail his White House bid. Trump is the first former president to face criminal charges, and the case poses substantial risk less than 7 months before his election rematch with President Joe Biden. Prosecution witnesses are expected to include adult film actress Stormy Daniels, who says she had a sexual encounter with Trump in the year 2006, a claim he denies, and Trump's former fixer Michael Cohen. The identities of the jury's 5 women and 7 men are kept secret for their own protection. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, April 23, 2024. We'll be back tomorrow for more news updates. Thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer, Francia May Boras. And on the technical side, there's Richard Bobis. Our Provincial Information Officer, Attorney Merludo Castillo, under the supervision of our Governor, Greg Slagman. Pinch hitting for Mr. Greg Halyari. This has been your anchor for today. I am Maria Elena Pancho. Thank you for subscribing.